Yo, there's a scene for Sept of the Howling Wind, a Werewolf the Apocalypse joint set in San Diego. They have vampires. They're vampires. Now, apparently, one of them is associated with the sister of the Grand Jarl. And Emil doesn't even know how to begin to digest this one. He's had to deal with some shit. Well, alpha of this sept. This is probably the, yeah, this is it. This is the test. That's whether he's going to just go into Hirano or not. And he's just sitting there staring at Darcy.
Darcy has his arms crossed and he's pacing back and forth.
The look at Emil's eyes right now is, can I force myself into Hirano?
Adelheid comes in with his like dogs. For those like who doesn't know, Adelheid's dogs, they're I forget it. There are like two dogs, and they are Russells. Yeah, Russell. I think.
The dog in the picture, in the image, is called a Catahoula Leopard Hound.
Not that one. I think like his one was like something Russell, but I forget.
Jack Russell Terrier?
Jack Russell. Yep.
Those dogs are psychotic. I love it.
Oh no, not this one as well. God damn it. I fucking hate myself right now. Whatever. Two dogs. And like they're very quite nice, but I think like they get a bit scared from individuals if there's like Garu around here. So he like takes them off and like maybe like finds a kin to make sure that they're okay. One of Edelheid's kins are like always helps Edelheid regarding the situation because these are like normal stuff, you know, like for Garu, rage happens, man. Whatever, I guess. He basically comes to the place and like looks one of the places who serves, not Darcy, because like he has a relationship with Darcy when it comes to like, you know, he doesn't want to give him like, give me a beer. Like he doesn't like that kind of thing. He doesn't want to hurt his friendship, so he asks for a beer, which is also very weird for Edelheid. He usually doesn't drink.
And we're talking about relationships. we know how people see friends.
Emil will look at Adelheid and he'll say, "Tell your mother I said congratulations."
Yeah, I heard. I'm very happy for her.
Milan.
Darcy hasn't heard, so he just kind of looks over.
She and Theo's mother are decided that it will be very better for them to have a relationship. So, yeah. I was very happy because she was a bit unhappy for a while, and guess what? Like, I am not very good at helping her regarding that. I don't like, you know, I am, you know, just a tiny bit jealous when it comes to this kind of stuff, but like I really trust that lady.
You know, I just realized what this means.
What's wrong?
No, not wrong. It's just that if they marry, as they may, that makes you and Theo stepbrothers.
Ah, quite nice actually. My mom is, I don't know, have you heard about this, man? But like my mom is like a distant cousin of Fiona called Bears Witness. He was in New York.
Hold on.
He led like a lot of stuff. It was an Afro. He died. He got executed by some stuff. He killed a border. Actually, no. Oh, see, scratch that because some might be alive in this game. So he's just like, yeah, he's still around. I don't know if he's still around. Maybe he's an elder. Maybe he's in. We don't. Mommy doesn't. Mommy, I said just mommy. Wow, crazy. Mom doesn't talk about.
No, that makes Darcy smile a little bit because, like, he was kind of stressed.
So you both look kind of weird. What's wrong? What happened?
Don't we both always look kind of weird? I mean, look at this face.
Emil looks like
Emil nods.
a superhero. Emil looks like a superhero, and Darcy looks like he is like ready to make everyone happy, not in a sexual way, but like in a friendly way.
I'm trying myself at the moment to have a logical reaction to one of the most challenging bits of my alpha ship.
Okay. What happened? Like, is it like Golden Claw did something? Is she coming? We
Oh,
finally
she's
getting
dead.
to kill her.
Yes, we're gonna kill her. I swear. We're getting to that. I swear. I'm lulling her into a false sense of peace. I'm biding my time. It takes time. Don't worry.
No, I completely. We talked about this. You were leading this in a very normal way, and I trust the things that we're doing. But I want to know what's wrong. Like, really, like what's wrong?
You should sit first.
Okay. He kind of like sits and like what Adelheid does, which is probably like something either Emil or Elias teach. Like it's something about like controlling your rage. He like takes deep breaths and focuses on positive thoughts, like his mother, his father, the people he likes, and he like first smiles at Darcy, sips beer, puts it down, and actually asks for like like when you drink a beer, you always want to eat something. So he asks for stuff as well, and like he asks like for 1 second for like for that to arrive, and he's like eating that thing slowly, and he's listening.
Darcy takes a deep breath and looks over at Emil.
He'll motion to him like, stage is yours. He will hold a finger up and he'll look at Adelheid and say, "Do you perchance know the gift pulse of the prey?"
I do.
He'll hold his hand. He'll just kind of reach over and like in a very fatherly manner take his hand so he doesn't run off. Just by chance. And he'll say, "Okay, go on."
Darcy puts his hands together, like presses his palms together, and then points his fingers outward slowly. And he looks over at Adelheid and he says, "Okay, there is someone in our
just
set."
say names.
Okay, fine. Tova,
wait,
the Grand Jarls.
Before you, I really apologize I cut you off, but I think like this kind of conversation may need to happen in a private place. Would that be cool?
Very private. He'll point around and they'll notice that they're the only ones here.
Oh, okay. Then he will like listen because like I thought there was like a barley area.
Yeah,
it is, but they own it, so he's closed it down for now.
Darcy has closed it down because he is in no like mood to be dealing with people right now.
By the way, Ninika, you can stay. Aziza is here sitting at the table quietly. She's normally quiet.
Mm-hmm. I assume that's what y'all thought, and I also forgot I was muted.
But yeah, Darcy is just kind of like, okay, so the Great Jarl's sister, Tova, she is in a relationship with a leech and dealing with him.
Aziza has choked on her team.
Adelheid like kind of like looked at Darcy like, huh, what? And he sort of like progresses what's happening, and he tries to understand what's going on. Okay, like he just like huh, wait, what?
Okay, I'll explain what happened. There was this leech that came to the Laughing Links before, and set up our alarms.
Emil holds a hand up and he says, "I have to ask you for a favor for my own mental well-being. Please just refer to it as a vampire. Just call it a vampire. Unfortunately, I am in a position right now where I have to make very serious judgment calls and our sept is being watched by everyone. Most of the time, we can't breathe without judgment coming upon us. And right now I have very serious decisions to make and need to not put my brain to a bias.
Oh, see, Adelheid is I want to say while he is very open-minded, the way it's presented is it was not something he expected. So I'm gonna roll a rage.
No, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
But I will also spend a willpower to not rage.
Oh yeah,
He's
Camille
fine.
rolled 2 fucking rage rolls last night.
He's fine. He grasps that bottle, but he puts the bottle down because he doesn't want to break Darcy's shit, and he controls himself, and then he fixes his posture, and then continue waiting and listening to the story.
Camille will let go of his hand now that he sees he's not going anywhere. Okay, we're good.
Darcy kind of trembles a little bit because, oh my god, he about frenzy last night too. Multiple times. Well, he takes a long, deep breath and he says, the vampire in question came into the Laughing Links before, set off our alarms, and we warned him. We told him never to come here again. Last night, our alarms were set off again because the same vampire, sorry. The same vampire was looking into our windows. My uncle, Felix, chased after him. Seeing as my uncle is chasing after a vampire, I ran after him. I'm not going to let my uncle just get hurt. Well, when we get there, my uncle has him pinned. He's saying that he was looking for a friend in the Laughing Lakes. I'm here. He would not tell the name of the person that we were looking for, or the person that he was looking for, I mean. But after a moment of questioning, that was when Tova herself stepped in front of us and pleaded for us to spare him. Like she really cared about him. He looks down.
And you killed him, right?
I would have killed them right on the spot. But seeing as this was Tova, the Grand Jarl's sister, I deemed it necessary to immediately talk with my alpha and the higher ranking members of the sept, because this could cause
political disaster.
Exactly.
Aziza has pushed her teacup aside and pulled her private flask out, taken a swig from it, and handed it to Darcy.
Oh, he swigs it. Like, oh god.
Aziza, by the way, would have learned in the time that she's gotten to know her family a little bit, the Petrova despise vampires. Like, it's what they've fought against most. Their thing.
Darcy, if this information slips around the sept, let's keep the name of who was with the vampire out of it.
That was my intention.
Neil shakes his head. There is no possible way that is going to happen.
It's actually, I'm sorry, but Tova is a big girl. She made whatever she made, that's not my decision, but she can face the consequence of her action.
It's not only her I'm worried about.
Why you're worried about a vampire then?
I'm not worried about the vampire. I'm worried about all of you. What do you think my family's going to do if they catch wind of this?
They're angry but not unreasonable.
The Petrovas will lose their shit.
Camille, take
my French.
The alpha here is one of the family's packmate, family leader's packmate. Darcy is someone who Sepp respects. He's actually working under Petrova. I have a very close relationship with the many members of the Petrova family. Like, you're not gonna lose our shit at us. We're not hiding anything. That just happened. Like, nobody gets to know everything sometimes, but I'm pretty sure some of the family members already fucking know.
I'm pretty sure
And
they already know. They have eyes all over the sept and ears all
and,
over the sept.
and also at the same time, while Petrova family is very angry at vampires, they're also very invested in well-being of the set because they live in here. So they actually going against Elias is not going to benefit them, and they know this. Like, not everybody is always loses their shit and attacks people. Like that's the dumb people do. We don't have a lot of dumb people here. We have politically invested individuals in the sept. And he looks at Emil like if he's right or not.
Oh, he nods completely-heartedly.
Yeah, Darcy is nodding as well.
If you think my father can control his rage, then I'll trust you on it.
Who is your father?
Alexei.
Like, Alexei will not control his rage when probably he hears about it. As far as I know, Alexei, that's not that much, but also Alexei will listen his dad. I don't know about this. He may listen his dad.
Alexei will do his father's bidding. Emil nods. It's Xenia, actually, that is the one that... Xenia is the greater threat.
The biggest thing is Xenia is the warder of the sept. As my duty as his assistant warder, I immediately had to inform. And frankly, it's...
We're getting off topic. Let's just talk about the what happened. Like she cared about this leech, and then what happened? Like she made you let her go, let him go, let the leech and her go, and then what happened?
My spirit networks have informed me that that her and this vampire are together. He looks as though saying that makes him want to throw up.
Well, Eli just shakes his head, but he doesn't say anything. It's not, sometimes you don't get to choose who you... Actually, no. Adelhai has rage 5. He just, shakes his head.
Yeah, Darcy kind of... He lets out a small growl, like it's kind of uncontrollable, but he just kind of holds it back.
There is another layer to this story to deepen it, because of course this vampire is the ancestor of Alyssa
and Bailey.
That doesn't change anything.
It doesn't.
Literally doesn't change anything.
I want to believe that.
I can explain why it doesn't change anything, but
oh, please do.
I want to hear complete story, and then I want to say the thing I want to say, because from what I hear, actually the explanation is extremely simple right now. It's all about who we are gonna piss when we do what we need to do, in my opinion at least. But again, I want to listen to the whole story and make sure I have all the layers that I need to know.
Okay. Darcy nods, and he says, then let me finish. Well, we had pinned the man on the ground. We were informed of this from Tova herself, where she pleaded for his life. She tried to appease to my sense of sympathy, I believe, because she then mentioned to me that he is a direct descendant of Alyssa and Bailey, which makes sense because he looks almost identical to Bailey. Well, immediately after that, I went to go check on my husband because my husband, he cannot deal with vampires very well. I had to make sure he was okay, make sure that he was safe. When I made sure he was okay, I then immediately went to Emil. Well, I went to Sully because I couldn't get to Emil. He was asleep.
Oh, look at that. I'll hide and say chain of command.
And Elida's like, wait, Emil sleeps? Wow, okay.
Right? But right, though. Now you know why they didn't wake him up.
But I then called for Elias because he needed to be there as well. This was pertaining his sister, and that could affect his rank and how people view him. So he was informed. When I discussed what I'm telling you right now, that was when we called Emil. And then it proceeded to explain the situation again. After some time, we then brought over Alyssa, who apparently knew of the vampire's presence and did not mention to tell anyone. Which infuriated me a little. If she had this knowledge, she should have brought it to attention, but I suppose our sept is a sept of secrets. He looks down, almost sad at that.
We do serve fog, Emil says.
As she offers the flask to Emil, she'll kind of mutter, "Some secrets aren't worth keeping, though."
I'll nod.
Is this all?
There's one other thing.
Mhm.
We decided that they are in fact corrupt, without a doubt. Vampires, by their very nature, are corrupt beings, and thus their very nature breaches our litany. However, seeing as that even Black Spiral Dancers were given the chance to correct their ways, he closes his eyes. Us Philodox have been tasked with attempting to look for a way to cleanse the taint that is vampirism.
Emil will spread his palm and say, the fact of the matter and the difficulty is twofold. One, the corruption of the vampire is not, if you think about it, one of the worm. They are trapped as they are. They are, if one considers, weaverish. They do not change. They do not age. They do not taste. Food does not give them sustenance. We always look at them as creatures of the worm, but how is that wormish? It's not. It is fully within the purview of the weaver. With their ways and the habits they have of forming intricate connections, weaving webs over everything. With their manners of control.
Adelaide doesn't look impressed by that statement, but he lets everybody continue because, like, he doesn't look like he set his mind on something. He just looks like he's listening and trying to make a judgment after he listens.
I don't think realistically we could, as a people, he'll shrug and air quote, cure vampires. He'll just shake his head. I gave it much thought last night. If it's something the nation could have done with the efforts that the Shadow Lords have made, with the efforts that the Glasswalkers have made, with the efforts that many tribes have made throughout the ages, with the efforts vampires themselves have made, this is a curse. They themselves haven't shaken this off. And it's not something I believe we can actually attain. But that doesn't mean that we can't help them to find balance. Though, yes, when I went my first change, and this is in no way, shape, or form saying I'm like a vampire, but to find a commonality of which I can build a foundation off of, there are many Garu who don't know they are Garu. When they change, they're powerless to it. Some consider it a curse. We know it's not. We would never dare demean ourselves like that and say this is a curse. As I understand it, many leeches, oh God, he'll just shake his head, many vampire do not come about their position willingly. It is something that is cursed upon them. Undead.
Alpha, you spend too much time with Elias.
He's my husband, so I am both flattered and frustrated.
The rules of the nation doesn't say oppose the worm or weaver. It says oppose corrupt. Oppose that corrupts. The webs that you talk about regarding the vampires actually creates corruption. Secondly, the cycle of life and death is what Garu defends for a long time. We defend the cycle, and they are not in the cycle because they're
Darcy
dead.
nods. Darcy is nodding because like that's what he brought up last night.
Literally, like there is no weaverish. There's no. They can't be vileish, weaverish, like or vermish. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they are. It doesn't matter the. Not a lot of them wanted to be vampires. I'm sorry, not a lot of people wanted to be Garu. Not a lot of people wanted to be Black Spell. Not a lot of people wanted to be Fomori. Do we give Fomori a chance to become better when they kill a bunch of people and basically in the way of like no return? No, we don't, because it's kind of too late for them. And the vampires, they're dead. It's Alyssa's mother. Sorry. Or Alyssa's ancestor. There's nothing we can do. If Alyssa's anything, or your and mine, Gaia forbid, my mom, becomes, a Fomori or whatever, we will try our best to save them. But, like, we won't just be like, this is a Fomori who, absolutely corrupted. Let's just try to find it, find a balance. It won't find balance because it's dead. Once it's dead, it can't come back.
Darcy takes a deep breath.
But, and this is an earnest question, are they dead? What is life? What is death? I have to ask myself that. I can't just trust me. The Fenrir in me wants to. Oh my God.
Alpha, you actually don't have to ask that question to yourself. Do you know why? Because your step is being watched by everybody right now. There's a Shadow Lord who's basically literally giving every day. I say that Shadow Lord fucking around in the step, watching what people talks about. So we may do the right thing. Maybe it's always right time to do the right thing, but it's actually not right time to do the right thing right now. The more we allow this, the more Golden Claw, whatever everybody is doing, is going to get more supporters, and it's going to be a lot of shit talk about us. Oh, they're like trying to help vampires this time. Crazy. Those guys are crazy. It is not right thing to do because what is life? We're not Socrates. I am not here to talk about sarcastic method. I'm here to talk about the future of the sept. What is better for the future of the sept? Not associating with the vampires. Not accepting association with the vampires. Not accepting the problems that the vampires are causing. Yet there are a lot of vampires who doesn't want to be vampires. I guess I'm sorry, but I don't hold myself same plot with a vampire because Leech offered a chance to the Black Spiral Dancers. Because Black Spiral Dancers were wanted to be redeemed. There may be vampires who want to be redeemed, but they're not dead. Pardon, the spirals are not dead. They're not static. They're literally like corruptors and the corrupt. I hear about these like legends when a vampire grows old and they become like less humane or whatever. They like attract banes. What else we need to know? Let's talk about people who knows the vampires are the best. As he like points, like says, Petrova. They may hate the vampires, but they're basically going to tell us like the vampires are irredeemable, and maybe they're not. But it really doesn't matter because you're the alpha of the sept. Your job is not to look after vampires. Your job is to find out what is best for the sept and go after that one. So by ordering your Philodoxes to actually go after and find a cure for vampires, you're making your Philodoxes not work for what the septs need. We don't need to work for vampires. We need to work for ourselves right now. We are at war. So tell me, Aziza, or tell me, Darcy, if I'm wrong. Do we need vampires? Do we like Tova? I like Tova. She's an amazing person. I guess she's fucking fallen in love with the wrong person. But the litany doesn't say oppose the corrupt when it suits you. It says oppose the corrupt. It doesn't say give it time. It says oppose the corrupt, or oppose the corrupter, or corrupt, whatever. Like it doesn't say, yeah, you may like get punished when it suits us, or it doesn't say if someone is Great Jarl's sister or daughter, they don't get punished. It says this is the law, and sadly, if you break it, you get punished.
Aziza has slid the flask to him now, by the way.
No, he doesn't want to drink.
I know. She's also taken a deep breath and she goes, may I speak for a moment?
Go on, please.
I agree with you.
Shoulder slightly. Sorry.
Just like, I agree with you on 98% of that. Emil, if someone can be saved, I believe they should be. You know I do. But right now, and the product of the fact we're in war, and we're probably on the losing end from all the rumors I've been hearing, this is something we should keep separate from us, at least until we handle what is going on. I do not agree with saving something that's already dead, though.
How do I say? I understand that you are like individual that extremely who thinks outside of the box. But when I first approached you about like vampires, you were extremely mad about it. Now you are saying like maybe what is life? Like you don't. That's why I said you spend so much time with Elias, because you shouldn't be like him because he's a great Jarl and you're alpha. Both of your jobs and duty are different. Great Jarl needs to look after get a Fenris. Alpha of the Sept of the Howling Winds needs to look after Sept of the Howling Winds. I right now may realize that my approach to this may look a bit different than me because I have been educated by you and Elias about how I should approach things. And I kind of think the best thing we can do right now is to think about a bit of ourselves. Yeah, maybe cleansing vampires, or like if it can be possible, cleansing vampires could be amazing. But it's just gonna fuck us over in the end. Everybody is gonna be like we have very powerful Garu here. We have you have a Jarlhammer, we have the grandfather Petrova, we have Elias. Can you fight with 50 Garu at the same time?
No.
What's gonna happen when all of them fucking rebels and like just brands us heretics and kills us all? What Toa did was against the I actually can say if it's against or not against, but I can say it's a very debatable thing. She didn't oppose corruption. So does Alyssa. She kept it from everybody, but this thing, this like individual, wasn't doing anything until to the sept, right? Like he didn't come into the sept. He didn't try to fuck with us. Good job, man. You were not doing anything. You were not taking attention, but you fucking did now by guess what? Fucking one of us. And he like smiles to himself and he says that.
Darcy goes over to Emil and he slightly squeezes his shoulder and just kind of like he understands this is like an insane amount and he's alpha but still like he understands he has so much on his plate. So Darcy just over there giving him like a
Oh, Emil's mind is already made as to what's going to happen. He just likes listening to them.
So like I don't understand why even we talk about this because like think about this, Raya. We say we may piss Elias if we, punish Tova. I think Elias is already pissed at his sister for, like falling in love with the most wrong person probably for himself because guess what? Now every get a feminist everywhere probably will hear he couldn't keep his house in order.
Darcy says in a soft breath, and he says, she was arranged to marry, and instead of choosing to be with the person that she, or even looking at the man who she was going to look at, she's going to a vampire.
Which
Okay.
I can't even begin to express to you the fiasco that has caused.
Raya, did she said, I will check this. Wait, she was near me. She told to the fucking changelings that she will check this person.
She did. And she met with him.
Oh, okay, then she kept her word. That's cool. I'm sorry,
she did.
but like
she did meet with him. She spent an evening with him, speaking, talking. I don't believe anything happened romantically, but
I gotta say, I don't like this kind of thing where like someone gets to push to marry someone else. Like that's not my forte, and I fuck that shit.
he'll nod. It's political.
And does she wants to be political? I don't think she wants to.
I hope not. You have to understand, I had to keep Elias from killing her last night. Were it Elias? Elias was going to put them in the ground together so that they could be together forever.
Yeah, I'm surprised he wasn't going to blood eagle her.
Darcy
was definitely on the table.
Darcy rubs his face and he looks over at Adelheid and he says, Sullivan, Elias, and I were ready to go out and kill her.
I think there should be a decision that we should be told to her, because killing her will not serve anybody. We will just another warrior. She is a capable purge.
I have already told her she is barred from our sept. At least until there is a solution to this. And I have spoken to Eyes in the Dark and Snake in the Grass, and she is barred from their septs as well.
I will say one thing. While people can make mistakes, I have been told and I have been given a chance to redeem for my actions. Tova can do two things. She can take the right of, in my opinion, this is like my recommendation. Tova has done something that is really bad, as in she failed in a duty that is opposing the corruption. Because say or not, like we said, yeah, guys, we're gonna have Black Spiral dancers now. We will try to find ways to get them in. Did anybody say this? Like, I'm gonna ask this on Raya. Before Sullivan, Raya, and Old Alpha said to you that if you're getting spirals, they're gonna make a peace talks. Jesse just went and talked to them. They're coming. Right before they said it, if any motherfucking Black Spiral came near the set, what would happen? Right before they said it. they would die instantly because nobody told us that we were gonna make it. Like nobody told us that there was a deal going on. Because if you can't tell anybody something, you don't like if you can't tell anybody, if you don't tell people your plan, that's what happens. People just like act their own. They act on what they know. Nobody knew what Tova was doing because if Tova was just going to tell us that, yeah, I was trying to save vampires, first, nobody told her to do so. Secondly, she didn't tell anybody. So that's like, even if she does something, she failed her duty. Therefore, she needs to take a punishment for failing the litany, our law, opposing that corrupts. She didn't ask permission of you or anybody to say, I want to heal vampires. She just become a lover with one. It says, again, oppose to corrupt. It doesn't say, make love and find out about their weakness. Even if that's what she was doing, that's not what it says. It says oppose. And there's different ways of opposing, but it's obvious that she loves this person. So sadly, she failed her duty. I recommend her immediate exile and basically rite of satire. Because this should only be given if she accepts that she failed and she will make up for her failure and basically never see that guy again. And that should be actually like made, like protected by deals with a spirit. She's a Tiro. She can make a deal with spirits.
I'm going to do as you say. I actually find it ironic that truly and in earnest, and Darcy can back me up when I say this, you have actually come to the judgment that I was going to come to. That was my judgment.
Darcy nods.
She's given a choice, Raya. She's going to make a choice between duty or, her wants. And
if go on, I'll let him finish.
If she chooses the other guy, then we fucked up.
If she chooses in her exile to stay with him, then I'm going to expel her from the nation. And she can live a Ronin. And that way she will be outside of the strictures of our law.
Yeah.
Darcy just kind of looks down.
I can't do anything to her if she is outside the tenet of the laws. If I kill her, if I just execute her, we lose a warrior anyway. It pains me, but I don't see where for myself and for the Sept, the best thing is to execute her for this. And I don't have the time right now, nor is it the best choice for the Sept for us to decide right now where our alliances or our difficulties, what treaties we have with the vampires is going to stand. I just don't. She is a thorn I do not need in my side, nor do any of us.
I personally think that if she chooses the vampire, we fucked up anyway. Elias is going to be sad. It's going to make her very sad. And yeah, I know it doesn't matter, but I'm just worried for your husband and my men.
Of course it matters.
Yeah.
But no matter who she chooses, we have greater evils to deal with right now.
We do. To be honest, we do. And beyond this, we'll have greater evils to deal with. Perhaps a silver lining will present itself, and I live in a rose-colored world in which... I live in a rose-colored world where something good shakes out of this. I don't know. The vampire have been a complication for us for quite some time. And we have had trouble rousting out certain things, informations, tactical advantages that we've needed. Maybe in time something can come of this.
Darcy sits down.
No.
Yeah.
I don't have the wherewithal right now to put my mind to it.
Darcy just rubs his face again and kind of looks up. He's leaning back in his seat.
I can tell you that if this vampire ever sets foot on my land, my Jarl Hammer will know the taste of his blood.
Darcy kind of clenches his fist. Well, no, he clenches his fist and he just kind of like looks around his cafe, and he looks to Emil, and he says, "The man did not set foot in the Laughing Lakes that time, but he saw nothing wrong in peering through my windows and looking throughout the cafe." He looks so angry.
Then establish clearer boundaries on your home.
He nods.
Is your territory protected as you would the Sept?
This is meant to be a safe place for all.
While this is a very hard decision, it is hard because those people who are being decisive on are friends. What is the thought process about Alyssa? Like, she didn't tell anybody her ancestor was a vampire, and like, was she keeping a like, I don't know. I don't want to just be like going on a witch hunt.
I will. Darcy, follow up on that. Find out if Bailey and Alyssa are guilty of crime, or whether it was an honest mistake.
He nods.
Yeah, like, I don't want to go on a witch hunt. I like Bailey and Alyssa. I like Alyssa a lot, actually. But
Bailey
like,
is good too.
I just don't want to focus on Tova, because just because she made a mistake, it doesn't mean she can come back from that mistake. While it's a big mistake, again, she can come back from that mistake. Same with anybody. I think lessons should be about teaching some people about their failures. Like, if it's a person, I think the punishments should be about teaching people about their failures. Like when I was punished. So basically, like, maybe rite of satire can also not be the true punishment for Tova, because like, she fall in love, and it doesn't change what she did, but it's still, how the fuck we gonna tell someone don't fall in love? So it's very hard to find a fitting punishment for Tova to take a lesson from. This shouldn't be just, fuck you, you fucking broke the law, so get good. It really kind of should be something that teaches her something, which is not my duty, because when I ruin, my duty is kind of easier and harder at the same time. Like, it doesn't require a lot of thinking, guys. It does when it's war. It doesn't when it comes to politics.
I think the satire rite is the most fitting, because not only does it inflict a lesson, but it also serves as a warning to others. I'm not about retribution. That is not the Finra way. You know that, Adelheid. Our rage is pure and clean, and Fenris imbues us with deep purpose and understanding of war. Vengeance is not our way. It serves nothing. it is to drink a poison, expecting it to kill your foe. But I cannot have people thinking that we accept this. I am willing to accept possible alliances with vampires in the future when my sept is not. Then he'll like throw up chaotic hands. But to insinuate accepting the undead as family, lovers? No, I have a line. You found it. That's it.
Good job, you find my line, huh?
Get a prize. Your expulsion.
The saga was meant to be a wise goddess of the north. She was called Saga's Flame, and I think I know the leech doesn't like fire. It's very weird, like she was called Saga's Flame, and she fell in love with a leech who hates fire. I While I always defend it is always right to do the right thing, sadly it really wasn't like falling in love may be seen as a right thing to people, but it really wasn't this time, sadly.
We fall in love with those. We can't control. We love who we love, but that doesn't mean it's the reaction. It's the follow up.
I also want to say
I
one
fell
thing.
in love with Cher. Imagine if I'd followed up on that.
Who?
Cher.
A female musician, older.
I know who's Cher. I kind of fall in love with Gabby once. It was weird.
I can't blame you on that one.
Gabby is amazing.
Yeah.
Gabby used to punch me in the face, and I was like,
oh my god, she
laying
punched
on
you in
the
the face?
No, it was we were playing punch face, and she punched me twice, and I was ouch. And then I was oh shit, man, wow, I'm in love. And then I'm Adelheid, you can't do that. Adelheid, nah, man, she's a Garu, man. And then I married, and I fall in love again. Before I married, I was very happy, and you all know how that went. But what I'm trying to say is, while Bailey and Alyssa may not get punished, they may need a very serious talk as well. They were doing nothing wrong. They were doing nothing wrong because they were doing it in a secretly way. If you don't tell anybody that you were doing shit, as far as I know, if nobody knows, nobody knows. That's what they say. I don't live like that, but a lot of people does in this step, as far as I understand now. So their probably biggest mistake was getting find out about this. So you actually, Raya, may want to speak with them and say, if I hear about some shit again, chitty bang bang, Gar's going down.
I'll let Darcy do his duty.
Darcy,
whatever he judges, I'll
I don't want to cock block you from your duty, man. I'm sorry.
If I deem that they have indeed been guilty of a crime, I will perform rite of ostracism on both of them. While it's lesser that they kept the secret, it still can be terrible because we are during war.
Emil's brows go up. That's hardcore. It's not too hardcore for the situation. But goddamn, you hardcore. Good to see a fellow actually came to work today.
Nice. Do you need any support in this situation, or will I be free later?
You know I am welcome, and
I follow your lead.
he nods.
I personally think I need to think about who I saw rite of ostracism given. As he thinks for a second.
Emil
Raya.
waves.
No, I didn't know about your story though. Like, I it is a very like fair punishment for lesser crime. It's about like, but it's actually very devastating during wartime. Like we basically tell them you can't see us for like let's just say 1 week, and like how what happens when we like get attacked in that week? They're like out in the city being alone.
Emil will lean over the table, and the look on his face is one of just humor me. I promise you, the loss will not be that great.
What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean. You mean like a Shadow Lord and your two Shadow Lords that can't fight? Yeah, that kind of thing, or like different? He just like like
He just
enter together
nods.
Ferris mode. Ah, okay.
He just nods. He's like, I just.
They can still heal people though, like Raya is. What they did is shameful. Just a like recommendation. Maybe we can give you guys can give them Stone of Scorn. I can't do shit, but oh.
Hmm.
I'm gonna ask a question. What happens
Okay, but I
when
think it's going to be really awkward. Go on.
what happens when if Towa doesn't accept the punishment? Like if he says I did nothing wrong.
He just gives him a look like, I don't. It's not her place to accept it or not. She'll be punished either way.
No, that's true.
Like,
But
for a fourth and we're not found.
No,
What?
it's just I just think if we make her a Ronin, she won't be able to go to her ancestors.
I'm sorry.
But that's a decision she makes,
choice.
right? Yeah, that's that you're giving her a choice, like do your duty and or get good. Okay.
Her father is an Okatana, and he's ready to kill her.
Yeah, guess what?
Okatana who are but the closest and most understanding to the ways of corruption.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe today I'm being merciful.
I like it though. It looks good on you. It's a nice color. You're helping me to feel as though I'm still staying reasonable and grounded. Okay?
No,
and that's all I need to
do. You have been like, as I said, you spent a lot of time with my mentor, but at the same time, while this kid is also bad because you guys need to be extremely different from each other. Like you and Elias actually commonly thinking is really bad because Elias doesn't need more people who actually thinks like him. Elias needs more people who actually doesn't think like him, and you need more people who doesn't think like you.
True.
Like it's very hard to accept this as a leader, but like I think that's very fucking weird. Elias has like a bunch of people who says like, yeah, man, liberalism, let's go on that train all day long, like. And see where it got us. Like the people were right about us. Like we just entered this train of liberalism. We went and went and went and went, and like the train is getting faster, and we can't stop it. Like it was like let's change the litany. Congrats, man! Like this was cool. We did the thing, and then the train gets faster. How about we accept the Black Spider Nation, and then the train gets faster? How about like someone needs to stop the train.
Somebody needs to at least make sure it doesn't go off the rails. Certainly.
Are we going to be Spider-Manning trains now?
Oh, God. Right now, the problem I'm having is that this is just, again, this is not something I have time for as a problem.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I truly don't mind trying to take on as much as I can to push myself to just not accept to not accept excuses. I can't do this. I'm too tired. This is too much for me. But this has hit a limit of, if I take this on and try to tackle this right now, I'm going to weaken the sept. So no, I refuse. He puts his hands up.
It's right. Like when you remember, like when there was like I think Darcy was there. There was this fool who was like, "Yeah, I stole my grandfather's fetish, but I did it for the right thing." Motherfucker, you did it wrong thing.
I'll actually look at his user. That was one of your cousins, actually.
Like, it's like, motherfucker, you stole something from your grandfather. Like, that's not your shit. Like, you could have asked that guy. Stop being, like old weirdo. Like, no. Yeah, Darcy was there. I remember. Remember that thing, Darcy?
He shakes his head and just rubs his brows, and he's like, I block him from my memory.
It's like, but I just did it for the love that I have. Bro. God damn it. Like, okay.
So, looking very confused between the three of them.
One of your, Emil will explain. He says your grandfather has magical ways to teleport fast.
Yes, I assume it's like his bag.
No. There's a magic orb he has that he uses to teleport himself. And your cousin, I think it was Kirill, he stole it from him to get. Well, actually, he convinced one of your other cousins to steal it so that he could get him from the Amazon, so that they could spend some time together. And oh my God!
As Emil is explaining, she slowly just turns and looks at Darcy. She goes, "I really need to help clean up my family first, don't I?"
That is about as monumental a task as redeeming vampires. And I don't care if they know I said that. I will say it to your grandfather's face.
Darcy just kind of like pats her shoulders and he says, I wish you luck.
She kind of looks back at Emil and she goes, "Why would I care what you say about my grandfather? That wasn't as offensive to their senses as what happened yesterday," and sips from the flask.
Wow! You are so your grandfather's grandchild. He just shakes his head. I have been in a pack with this man since I was Cleith. Your grandfather is actually a good man. Okay, hold on. Let me not insult him like that. He thinks.
He's a civilized man.
Very civilized, actually. Why, he has 2 degrees from Oxford, as I understand it.
The point of the matter is, so we're not doing much besides what Darcy is going to do on this
I am going
situation.
I am going to call for a temporary exile and the satire right to be. During her exile, if she chooses to stay with the vampire, I will fully exile her from the nation. But I will not call for her execution at that point. She may go her way and make her choices, but she will be Ronin to us.
Oh, we need the muscle for now. She'll look at Aldehyde at the moment. She goes, "Are the seps, is the alpha's choice acceptable to you for now?"
He looks at her like, look at Adelheid. Like, is this acceptable to you, Adelheid?
Let me think for a second. Are you all right? He looks at Eliza. Are you all right? Like, why it needs to be my decision?
It's not, but you seemed upset by the decisions the Alpha was making.
Oh,
no. The Alpha didn't make a decision. The Alpha made a decision last night.
Oh, I meant with
listening to Darcy because he needed to vent.
Darcy's over here like going, girl, you sassy today.
I actually like very liked it. Like we just said like we did, like I offered his idea, like what he wanted to do. Like we are not disagreeing. It's just I disagreed with like his his commitment to do the right thing, well, which he believes the right thing. But sometimes um for example, like I used to feel like honor is everything, honor is everything. I was keep saying that, but then you realize when you like the raisin station, um, sometimes honor is keeping you from doing what's beneficial of the community. Like, um, let's just say, um, I wouldn't kill people who comes to stay near me and ask my hospitality. That's like too much fucked up. But I wouldn't just be like, yeah, like this guy and me. Like if I attack Golden Claw, I wouldn't challenge Golden Claw. I would just like fight along with side my brothers because like she kind of like it's not gonna help me or the Sept or the nation if I just get killed by her. Like she is not a member of a Garu nation to me. Let's just say it that way. I think this is very weird situation, very weird, and I knew that I was hoping Emil Raya, like when I first heard it, wasn't gonna be the way he is regarding his approach to um, the change, because like this is a too big of a change for everybody to be ready for.
No, 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 no. No, I have a line. I have a line. That's it. You found my. I have a few lines. You found one of them. This is one of them.
I I'm sad for Toa.
I'm disappointed as well. She's my sister-in-law.
Yeah,
To have to
and
pass judgment on one of my own sister to my sister and to to put her from our family, the nation, our ancestors. My God.
it's also
Oh,
like a lot of people expects you to be like lenient on her because a lot of people want you to make mistakes. That's what everybody wants. Like a lot of people once like there are some people in the world who always looks around for people to make mistakes just because they get the use on them. So this is a very fucked up situation for our tribe especially because we have been doing a lot of good things in this place. And guess what, Tola? Guess what, Tola?
well, our ascent wasn't going to be without flaw. So obviously, this is the dark spot in our.
I think we need to like also inform the true catcher about the decisions, right?
Mm,
Because it's his duty to punish those people.
we've already spoken.
He knows. I gotta go actually. like I'm really sorry that like there's I actually need to be like at the school today.
Classes.
Yeah.
Your notes.
Um I um I'm really sorry for what happened. While I'm really happy for my mom, I'm really sad for Tola. Tola was one of the individuals who I really liked in this place. Yeah, I'm sad to hear that. Where is she now?
She's with him wherever they are.
What? Wait, she is still with him?
Ahmad.
Adelaide takes a deep breath and doesn't say anything.
That's why I'm so angry.
I'm gonna text her.
He'll hold his hands up.
I will just ask her, "Are you with him?" Like, see you guys later. And, Raya, it's been a pleasure. Darcy, Azida, um,
It's been a pleasure. I hope to see you again soon.
so do I. Um, um. By the way, I saw my school counselor here. She was leaving the place. Yeah. See you guys later. That was weird.
Wave.
He'll wave.
Yeah. He fucks off.
Your teacher
I
in a strip club. Can't
I
really say
always
anything because.
I always need to go to sleep, guys. So see you guys later. Okay.
Night.
Bye.
Bye bye.
So
Darcy
yeah,
looks.
he rubs his face and just looks at Darcy.
Darcy is kind of like, oh god. Another thing, though,
You listen to me.
looks to him.
You are not an inquisitor. I know the gleam in your eye.
He blinks.
Go to Alyssa and Bailey, and you are to judge if they have committed a crime. You are not to go in assuming they have and sort through your punishments.
Of course, Raya. I wasn't going to directly just punish
He
them.
growls and lunges across the table at him.
He just lets him. He's not lying.
It's not that he's lying, it's just that from his dialogue while they were speaking, he can tell that he's already half to judging them guilty.
That he believes that they're guilty, yeah.
Yeah, and he's stopping that right now. Like he's basically, yeah, he lunges and growls at him. I don't want to make the intimidation roll, but you just had a pure read 5 get a Fenris
Yeah.
throw at you. Please don't make me roll intimidation.
No, he don't worry. He's standing there. He's frightened and he's just kind of like standing there.
Aziza has turned her body to face towards the two of them, but she's not made any other movement.
He says, I wasn't whelped yesterday. And although I may be a galliard, I have still been in a position of leadership in the Sept for quite some time, probably longer than you've been alive. I know what it looks like when a Philodox has already basically decided that one is guilty.
Darcy looks into his eyes and he takes a very soft breath. And he says, Raya, I mean no offense. But no matter what I think, that doesn't mean anything. I don't make judgments based on my opinions alone. I never have. Sure, I believe they're guilty, but I won't make any decision based upon anything except for the facts.
You haven't spoken to them, ergo the fact that you think they're guilty is already a problem.
I spoke to Alyssa when we called her.
But not about this situation. Not about her culpability in the problem. Do you not now see where my rage is coming from?
I do, Raya. And I say it again. I will not make a rash judgment call.
You already have. I'm just trying to pull you back from the edge. I don't want to see. To be honest, right now, you're in a brighter spotlight than you ever have been. I'm trusting you with this. And I think you're going to find very soon that this, as Adelheid said, is like a train moving forward. Your decisions and choices in this matter right now are going to help shape how this sept handles not only the secrecy that our totem demands of us, but how we deal with vampires. A choice I don't have enough foundation to build off of yet. Nor do I have the time now to take on that. But your hands putting in work to that foundation right now, and I need you to understand that. Do you understand that?
I understand that. He looks into his eyes, and he has a very soft expression. And he can tell that he looks at him, and he says, I don't want to make a call based on my opinions alone. And I understand that just feeling that they're guilty could in fact lead to a wrong decision.
Thank you. I don't want a witch hunt right now. We cannot afford it.
He nods.
By the way, what Veronica walks in on is her mentor all but on Darcy, giving him a dressing down.
Yeah, Darcy looks a little bit nervous, but he's actually standing his ground.
And Aziza sitting by at the table thereby, watching them with her full body, facing towards them as if when she needs to, she will jump in to pull them apart.
So Emil's coming down hard on Darcy.
Yeah, it looks as though he's basically in the come down of that. Like he already did it, and now he's kind of pulling back.
Is this a Sep ground or Laughing Lynx?
The laughing
Laughing.
Darcy then he doesn't realize Veronica is there yet. And he
She's sipping
says,
her drink.
Oh, I was gonna say, because there was nobody in there right away because we had this whole situation, it was closed. She can easily go in.
Yeah, she fucking owns half of it.
Yeah. So, but Darcy looks to Emil, and so I'm gonna say when Veronica's walking in because he doesn't realize she's walking in because he's kind of
has a bunch of fur in his face.
He looks at him and he says, I will not make a rash judgment call on Alyssa or Bailey.
Who are the people that he said?
Alyssa and Bailey.
Veronica comes right away over, just hearing Bailey what's going on?
Darcy or Emil will actually let him have the last word at that. He doesn't need the last word, and he'll step back and nod.
And he breathes out softly, and then he looks over at Veronica, oh.
While Veronica steps over, Aziza would have been saying, and I'm here to support in any way you and Darcy.
So, what is this about, Bailey? Gives a smug look,
Emil looks over at her and says, your packmate's ancestor is a vampire, and he happens to be here, and has fallen in love with and come into a relationship with my sister-in-law. And he'll nod, as though all of that just is spinning a plate above his head.
Push to again.
And it has been known that Bailey and Alyssa have both known about his presence and haven't said anything.
This actually, people could tell this actually annoys Veronica, but she has to look like she's not surprised.
The flask gets pulled from Emil and pushed towards Veronica.
I'm going to fucking kill him. You have to understand Out of Game, she heard his father was a fallen Shadow Lord that tried to take him in. Then it ended up being Samael is part of his fucking family. The fallen angel Samael. Now it's this.
Oh, and by the way, your answer.
At this point, I'm wondering if you're damned as a menace for different reasons.
Shake the flask. Shake. Drink, Veronica. Join us in the circle of bonding.
I refuse. And she just puts her hand out. Out of Game, she's pregnant.
You should smell pregnant to us then, and I wouldn't have offered it.
Oh my god. She's probably fuming.
Oh, she's more than fuming, and you have to understand, the whole time, Out of Game, She genocided Golden Claw's family.
She did. She's been genociding a whole family.
I will be right back as he does. It goes into the kitchen and starts making more tea.
People just hear someone mutter, be like, "So I have to deal with one family just to find out about another."
Darcy,
she says
in on everything.
And she says through mind link to Emil, "Do you believe?" It's like, "I believe now Bailey has a different reason for menace deformities, and it has nothing to do with him being a menace. It's because he's fucking damn."
Emil literally screams like a queen. Like he screams.
Darcy is doing the
And just starts
same.
laughing. He just starts cackling. Oh my god, he loses it. He loses his shit.
Darcy's covering his mouth and going, "Oh my god, I need to sit down for this one."
He sucks. He just puts his head against the table to rest so he doesn't pass out from laughing. Oh, I needed that. I needed that after the conversation I just had. Oh god, wow. He just runs his fingers through his hair.
Says through mind link, "I need to find a way to have my tale told about what I did to Golden Claw's family."
Oh, I'll happily tell it if you want.
Not sure how people be about giving his Golden Claw's mate to the devil to bring back Sky.
I could leave that part out.
Find something else to change it to.
I mean, you sold his soul. At that point, why not just go for the gold and claim it? Why go for a lesser? I just sold it to Beelzebub. No.
So Darcy's looking between them, seeing them stare into each other's eyes, and he says, "Either you're staring at each other with love, or you're mind linking."
I love my protege so much.
The bird's talking.
Ziza comes back, puts tea in front of everyone, and sits down, muttering out, "Can this week get any worse?"
Veronica brings in Harlow.
Oh, as soon as she says that, Darcy then looks over at Azaza, and then he just kind of looks away.
"I want you to find Bailey for me."
He chirps.
"And you're gonna tell me where he is, because he's in fucking trouble."
Oh boy.
You could tell him he's in fucking trouble.
So Emil holds his hand up and is like, "We are letting Darcy handle this."
She looks at Darcy. "Fine, Harlow. Hold on, Harlow. Darcy, do you want Harlow to find where Bailey is?"
He puts a finger to like his lips and he says, "I'd rather observe and see if he is as guilty as actually, I don't even know if he's quite guilty yet. We just..."
Emil looks over at him, just batting his eyes preciously.
Looks at Harlow. "Keep an eye on my pack," and gives it 2 noses for wasting his time.
He'll fly off to go spy on your pack mate.
Thank you. I probably just don't tell him about that you're keeping an eye on him.
There's nothing wrong with observation in order to take track of a suspect. Emil lifts his hands up, like, that's okay.
I know, but do you want him to know that he's being watched? No.
I'm the pack alpha. I can claim I'm watching him for whatever reason I want, or other pack members. We're at war.
Aziza is staring at Veronica with eyes full of admiration.
Most people do. It's okay.
Do you see why I love Veronica? She is amazing. We hang out on occasion, and we run this establishment together.
Out of game, you think you fucking tell me what to do? I give you orders. Except in the Halloween win, Veronica orders you what to do.
So, Darcy, I follow your lead, and I've thought of a way how to keep father out of your hair while you take care of this for Emil.
Throw heroin at him until he pops himself out?
No, we're going to give him a 5,000 piece puzzle and tell him that he gets a reward if he can complete it.
He'll piss on it
Oh
and set
my
it on
god.
fire. Oh my god, he's lupus. You want
Veronica's been a prostitute.
actually, that might work. Actually, no. You know, I think if you actually want to keep your father busy,
Yes, because if he gets involved in this situation, grandfather's going to get involved in this situation, and Veronica's too pretty to have to deal with that.
He'll be worrying about a different kind of grandfather getting involved if he doesn't watch it.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Okay. How do we distract your father?
He likes sex, so
Drugs.
Oh.
no, he's clean.
Not anymore. He shakes his head.
So we do what we do with what we used to do with Alexi: get a bag of cocaine and throw it the other direction.
Oh, not a bad idea.
You have been giving my father drugs.
I haven't been giving your father anything. Your father has been doing drugs again.
I never met your father.
No, you have. Your father's Alexei Petrova.
Oh, he came clean. Okay, just show him kids.
No.
That is yes.
He loves
Oh,
he loves
hand up.
children. He loves and adores children. Just find someone with a baby and have them babysit and watch him be like, oh, that's too cute.
Exactly. That
Who
is
has
actually
who has a bajillion babies on set?
Raise his hand.
Yeah.
I have 2 lupus babies, and I'm having my own actual child.
You should so say Theo out of character because
I don't know. Falcon might have some out of game. Falcon might say some things to Alexi and be like, "You're not associated with Theo. You don't need that negativity in your life.
you don't need that negativity in your life.
Unclean,
No, nobody needs that.
unclean. Go hang out with Veronica.
Heretic.
unclean. Go hang out with Veronica. Oh
Go
my
hang
god.
out with Veronica. You don't need to be with those peasants."
Your eyes can light up. Like, okay, so he basically likes adrenaline. I could send Grandpa and him to an amusement park for a couple hours.
Send him to
And that's
Disneyland.
Disney.
He just goes over to Emil and like grabs his hand and jumps up and down.
Got something down. Ah!
Just bring Alexi to a daycare.
Go take. That is Aziza. He cups her precious little fucking cheeks.
Yes,
Take
ma'am.
take your grandfather and your father to Disney World, Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Yes, take them to
I'm
Disneyland.
not leaving Darcy alone because he may need me.
Well, then
Just-
convince them to go to Disneyland.
And while they're on the trip, get a portable DVD player and play Frozen.
Uh-huh.
I hate that movie, but okay.
Excellent.
So that's
Veronica loves your pain. He looks to the side.
Veronica has no reason to love my pain.
She has every reason to love your pain. She loves everyone's pain. Get it right.
Pretty much. That's like going to be Veronica's unofficial teen name. Loves everyone's pain.
Well, that's what Darcy said in character, though.
Veronica, bring her a pain and despair.
So we deal with this situation as we handle the war. The war will probably be a lot easier to handle than anything else going on. You just kill your enemies, right?
Where's the lie in that, though?
And I find somewhere better than the library to use a Wi-Fi signal.
Oh, speaking of the war,
Mm-hmm.
I found some people at the SEP that might be interested in a coop. We could talk to them.
Oh, mine.
Half the people there hate Golden Claw.
Only half.
At least half.
Okay.
I only say half because those are the only ones that are not too chicken shit to hide it. Think about it. It's a Silver Fang, Black Fury, Get Offenders, and Fianna shit. Sept. If half of them don't like her, what is the other half? Indifferent. Indifferent or afraid. I say we get a coup star, we capture her alive, and find someone who could do the right of Gaia's tears.
You're a wonderful person, Veronica. Did I ever mention that? You're amazing. Don't hurt me.
No, I'm just gonna hurt Golden Claw.
I told you. I already have plans for her. She's mine. That one you can't have.
I can make her suffer before you have her.
Let him have this, Veronica. Gosh, he's the alpha of the set.
I have so little in my life that brings me joy other than your sweet face.
You notice he didn't say his husband? That's okay.
Wow.
Just pointing that out.
Well, his head.
Well, now that you're bringing it up this way, Darcy, no, Emil, you can have him. There's a reason why Golden Claw's alone now.
He shakes his head.
Golden Claw no longer has a family. Sips her coffee.
Family. He texts. Emil texts and texts and texts. He says, I am texting Alexi's daughter and telling her to tell him to go to Disneyland.
So I have a sister. Well, another sister.
You probably have a lot of sisters. I have I don't keep track of
The look she's giving Darcy right now. She's like, are you sure you're not one of my brothers?
I don't think so.
I know that Julia Petrova is grandfather to half the nation. I know he really is, but I don't think you two are related.
I don't think we are. Unless somehow your mom died.
Technically, by association, you are almost related to Veronica.
He looks over at Veronica. Wait, what?
What?
Veronica now.
By association, Aziza and Veronica are almost related. See, Aziza, you are... Actually, no, you are fully... You are... Your sister is Veronica's husband's grandchild.
Oh my god.
Well,
I'm related to Veronica.
He looks at Veronica like...
Which husband?
My brother is Justin Cienfuegos. He rubs his face.
Cienfuegos, huh?
Oh, you have a... Oh, he covers his mouth. Oh, that wasn't supposed to come out.
Looks at Darcy, folds hands on table, gives a flashes teeth and a smile.
Emil is basically like, that wasn't... I was holding... That was a secret.
What?
So what was his name again?
Cienfuegos.
Aziza has moved to be between Darcy and Veronica.
He's whimpering slightly like, are you gonna kill me now?
Do you understand that my family is black? And you just mentioned Cienfuegos to me? Out of game, Emil can tell that she's fucking with him.
I know, that's why he didn't say anything.
Yeah, but we don't know.
Fury.
So you're gonna hide this from me?
I wasn't hiding.
How many other things are you hiding from me?
I'm not hiding anything. I didn't even think about it.
Am I gonna have to? You're not gonna hide anything from me anymore?
No.
You solemnly swear? I could D-name will not hide from things from Veronica.
Oh my god.
Emil is just holding his mouth like...
Veronica.
Is he telling the truth? Looks at Emil. He won't.
Oh god.
Okay, good. He's a relative of mine.
Okay, hold on.
Darcy, okay, he's a relative of mine.
Okay. You whimper slightly.
Out of game, Steve, that was hilarious. Hold on, is this the same Justin that was part of Gold Claw's family?
Uh-huh. That's why they
Her
were
smile
hiding
goes
from her.
away.
That's why they were hiding it from her.
So where's the seer?
Oh God. He'll just stand up. No. Okay.
We could
Listen.
totally be.
I'll explain it. I'll explain it. You know your nephew Calix.
Mm-hmm.
Calix is married to Darcy's brother, Justin.
Okay.
That's what it is.
And he. Wait, so then Justin shouldn't have the Sanfuego's name.
Calix changed his last name to Cienfuegos.
That's not how this works.
No, out of character, his father let him.
Yes. Sebastian said that Calix could change his last name to Cienfuegos.
Okay.
So he did. And then Justin, when he married him, took the last name Cienfuegos.
Okay, from this day forward, Justin is not allowed to mention anything of Gold Claw's family. It is completely purged. They are all Sanfuegos. That is all his bloodline's allowed to be. His non-Gold Claw one and Sanfuegos. That's
You
all
purged
he's allowed
that
to
so deep, you ended up making one of them a Cienfuegos. That's deep. That's a deep purge right there.
Aziza looks behind her at Darcy. Can I move now? Do you think you're safe, or should I keep being your shield?
I am never safe, but we're okay now.
She'll pull her chair there so she can sit between them.
Honestly, if Darcy wasn't safe, I would just end those people, so Darcy only has to deal with me.
Oh my God.
And she just says it like in a sincere way, but not in a like threatening manner.
He offers his hand to Veronica. He's like, "Did I mention how much I love you?"
There was once somebody who tried to skin Petra. Nobody ever heard from him again, and he has no name. I don't give this is an actual story with someone trying to be a skin dancer.
This
right.
Petra sounds extremely strong.
Oh, he is. And he rocks the color pink.
He kind of shudders some. His color.
He rocks the pink while sneaking in and infiltrating.
I have a pink outfit. He looks to the side.
She just like pats Darcy on the back and she's like, "It's all right, my alpha. I'll forgive you for it." This is the closest you'll see to that on me, and she'll show him a picture from last night, the dress.
Nice.
So if people are afraid of the dark, I could always make it light. She just holds one finger up. Reference to her claws.
Emil will basically get up and give them a little bob of his head. And I'll say, I actually do have to return to duty. I've been gone from the sept too long.
Percy nods.
Be sure to get you a donut on the way home.
Oh God, I'm gonna eat an entire vat of Ben and Jerry's. I'm gonna be Ben and Jerry drunk tonight, and I'm gonna have to dance for 5 hours to work it off my fat ass. But he'll shrug.
Darcy then kind of looks over at Emil, and he just kind of like whimpers slightly, and he says, "Now the hardest part for me is going to be keeping all of this knowledge from Z, my yeah."
Just bear in mind that it's the best thing for the sept right now. Don't tell him, because if you do, it's going to compromise his ability to guard the sept, because it's going to drive him crazy. You know him. He focuses. Don't do that.
No, you do? Gives Darcy a laser pointer.
Oh, that's actually a great idea.
Not a bad idea, actually. Yes.
I kind of want to meet this guy if a laser pointer works on them.
He'll chase the dot.
Sorry, yes.
Is this a lupus, like the one that keeps stealing my laundry?
That's the
Oh,
word.
that's probably
actually-
the red talon.
Out of character, he stopped. That lupus.
Oh, I know out of character he stopped.
Okay.
He's actually your uncle. I'll give you a map. I actually have a family tree for your family somewhere.
For
I
my
had to do
for my father's side, God knows
the
what's on my mother.
entire. Oh my god! I had to do the entire genealogy. It literally took me over a year to track down the Petrova line. Oh my god!
You know, I came to the sept thinking I wasn't related to anyone except for my family, and then here I am. There's probably a gigantic web of how everybody's related to everyone.
Aziza takes the same sitting position as Darcy and mimics a smile.
Oh my god, they look alike. It's funny.
He'll kiss his hand, mwah, and he'll wave and he'll say bye bye,
But,
and he'll leave.
so I'm gonna assume Azaza and Darcy are sitting the exact same way. Like, then they both turn and look over at Veronica the exact same way, and then they smile exactly the same way.
Yes, this running joke will not stop just because someone who scares them is here.
She just sips her coffee and pays them no mind.
I like her. She doesn't overreact.
Me too. There's.
I don't overreact. I act. There's a difference.
So, did you hear what happened at the library last night? To Darcy.
He turns and looks at her. What happened at the library?
Okay, you didn't hear. It's fine then. I just wanted to make sure you knew. As my alpha, I love you very much and I would never embarrass you.
He leans in. His face is like right to hers, and he's just kind of looking into her eyes like, girl, you better tell me.
I dealt with my mother. It's all taken care of. She will not come to the sept at all. She knows she is not welcomed here.
Ooh, girl. Girl.
Tilts her head at him like a innocent little kitten almost and goes, I don't know what you mean. It was a very polite, civilized conversation. You can ask Gavin, who unfortunately was there.
I don't know Gavin, but
She just Veronica chuckles and enjoys some more of her silver dragon.
Tolly's husband, Gavin.
he takes a moment, looks over at Veronica, looks over at Azaza, and he's like, okay. And he kind of like leans back and he brings his feet, like his legs to his chest and kind of like holds them there. And he rests his head on his knees like, my head hurts.
Veronica feels like a little soft, like tap 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 on her leg, like paw paw paw.
Looks down,
A large black kitten looks up at her and meows.
picks up Black Kitten.
It cuddles her chest.
She smiles.
It's so cute.
One of my other names is the Queen of Cats.
He'll lick her nose.
She just runs her hands behind his ears, down his back and the neck and back.
He'll kind of like scoot over and jump on one of your chairs and shift into.
Aziza's eyes have gone huge.
Darcy gives him the sweetest smile. He's like, hey, Cassia, how are you doing again?
I have heard of this, but I have never seen it. It is amazing.
He'll smile and he'll say, why, thank you.
Darcy looks over at Azaza and he says, my husband can do the same thing.
Your husband is a beautiful creature of perfection that could do anything.
Oh my god. Okay, that will get you everywhere with him.
Just he has to stay within 5 feet away from me from now on.
Takes a slight nod. Okay.
He's purring. And he'll look over at Veronica and his fingertips will kind of stroke her forearm.
Darcy then looks over at Cassia and he says, I hope the notes that I sent you were helpful.
I've alerted the warder, and if she sets foot on our land, she'll be killed. And he'll nod.
Ooh.
I've spent too much time at war with leeches to humor this.
That's not what I was talking about.
Oh my! What were you talking about? I'll look back at him.
He kind of leans in and
I'll lean in. He's like, now he's pawing at Veronica's arm.
Looks at him.
And he says, I hope you've built up your security.
Looks at him like the look like, what do you want?
He'll pick her hand up and put it in his hair. like pet me, bitch. Pay attention.
I knew it.
Did you hear what Darcy said to him though?
He'll say, why don't you find out?
He shakes his head. He says, I only did that for a challenge. I would rather not die today.
I would rather you not die for many, many years.
I'm just hoping that it was useful for you.
I have a message for you. He'll nod.
He takes a soft breath. Okay, go ahead.
He tells him, he holds his hand out.
He takes his hand and he holds it out.
He drops something into it.
He looks expecting a spider.
There's a big, juicy black spider in his hand. And it basically dashes up his arm.
He just trembles and he's like, hi again.
It will help take it off, Darcy.
No. You don't want to take it off, Darcy.
Yeah, it'll basically kind of crawl into his clothes and just wait and hang out.
Darcy's just sitting there going, okay, this is my life now. Hey, well, at least we can be like friends, right? Looking into his shirt.
It dashes up his chest. It'll crawl like behind his, it crawls across his neck and onto like the back of his head, burrows into his hair.
Veronica chuckles.
He reaches up slightly and lightly pets the spider in his hair.
It tries to bite him. No, bitch, don't pet me.
Well,
We're not friends.
Like, by the way, Darcy, does your cafe have Wi-Fi?
Of course.
She'll pull out a laptop. It seems safer to check email here than at the library. No family here.
Something else I need to check into. New Orleans.
There's something I need to check into too. He looks off to the side.
But it involves spiders in your hair?
Well, that's a concern, but I don't think he's going to like murder me because I hope not. You're not gonna murder me, are you?
Cassia smiles at him and says, "It's not your hair anymore."
I don't know where it's at.
Just like those secrets are not yours to keep alone anymore.
Suddenly I feel like mine's everywhere. I'm feeling like the tingles. You get that feeling when you can't see the spider and you just suddenly feel like it's everywhere. That's what I'm feeling right now.
His hair, by the way, brushes against the back of his neck.
What first?
Cassia just smiles.
I
Johnny.
normally would have never done this. I am sorry.
Johnny, out of game, I would assume Cassia and Sullivan know Veronica's challenge that Anton gave her.
Yes.
Okay.
Cassia will hold his hand out, and the spider will We'll use some of its silk to catch the air and float over to him. And he'll just put it back in his clothes.
He looks over at Cassia and he says, I do want to be on good terms with you. I didn't mean any harm by what I did.
If I thought you had meant harm by what you did, your mother would be still crying.
Veronica just smirks and gives it a look like it's true.
He takes a long, deep breath. You can tell he was thinking of something, but it's kind of like exited out of his mind, and now he's thinking about spiders.
Drink is all she says, pushing the flask to Darcy.
He looks at the cup and slowly drinks it, and he's like, and then it in the pack link he tells Azaza, and he's like, the spider is mad at me because I killed one of its spiders.
The look she's Darcy is of pure horror.
What? It's from the same person. It wasn't gonna be dying.
If you kill enough of them out of game, they lose attributes.
Yup.
So I can see why the Anansi would be fucking pissed.
He's really pissed at him.
Back to Darcy. Have you never heard of you don't kill it unless you're gonna eat it?
I'm sorry. I had to be very careful because it was on a mission and everything. This is in pack link and everything.
Veronica gives a look to Cassia if she could see the spider.
He'll reach into his clothes again and pass it over to her.
She just lets a finger out so the spider could just crawl where he feels comfortable.
Yeah, he'll crawl onto her.
Aziza just sighs and is rubbing her forehead now while looking at Darcy.
Hey, look, I didn't mean any harm. It's just he was gonna kill me, and
She's raised her hand to him. She's like, actions always have consequences.
I know.
Pay your dues to the kind man. She says that part out loud.
She takes some of her coffee, the plastic lid part. She pours a small amount of the silver dragon, and just has some up in case the spider wants some.
Sip, 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 sip.
Honestly, Darcy has been actually thinking of a way to help him, and he doesn't understand. He hasn't really spoken to him in person yet, but
Has anyone?
no.
Speech to the spider. I believe we have not been acquainted. I am Veronica Strikes with Lightning. She says in spider.
He puts his one little leg basically on her finger and kind of wiggles it up and down.
Yep.
It seems as though she can tell he's speaking. Just the problem is he's so tiny that she can't really hear it.
Oh my goodness. She puts him right next to her ear.
She can tell that he's saying his name is Andre.
Andre? Okay.
Darcy then kind of looks down, and he furrows his brow, takes a soft breath.
Cassia will tell Andre to just come to the Laughing Links.
Veronica puts her finger down so he could.
So let's just skip ahead on this. About 5 minutes later, another spider comes up, crawls up onto the table, and then another, and then several.
Darcy closes
It's like the scene from Little Nicky.
There's a sea of spiders that are crawling up onto the table, and Darcy just he's clinging to his seat
Yeah, they start pouring in from kind of everywhere. And
As
they
he's
move
cocked
over
an
to the
eyebrow,
chairs.
watching.
Veronica takes her phone out, looks up for the scene for Little Nicky, and be like, "Hey, Darcy."
Looks over.
So over the course of about a minute, they basically come together, and then this man coalesces.
Hello again.
Cool.
I love that overlay.
Thank
He
you.
smiles softly at him.
He has a very neutral expression. Like he looks pretty much like the way he does in his overlay, his arms crossed and just kind of very quiet with the hood drawn up on his shirt.
I did want to apologize for what had occurred. I didn't know how to find you or anything. He looks down and he looks a little upset about like what happened. I know that what I did built up the defenses of your set. But at the same time, I also know that I harmed you. And I'm really sorry for that. He looks up into his eyes.
He looks indifferent.
He'll take it. It's not like hatred or anything, so. And he offers them a soft smile.
He'll look over at Ron.
Okay. She'll look at him. Give a kind of a evil smirk, but like nothing menacing.
Mhm.
Pleasure to meet you, Andre.
I've heard much about you. I hear much about many. I have heard more about you. For Bane and Boone.
Laptop put away. Aziza has gotten another cup of tea and set it down in front of Andre.
She doesn't look like she's curious. She wants to know both the Bane and Boone, but she'll leave it to him to.
A piece of advice. You have a target in this city that you have unguarded. And there are eyes watching her. I think you know who I'm speaking of.
Out of game, do I need to roll or do I know who this is?
You can roll for it since it's important.
Alright, I'm getting Discord up. What do I roll?
Intelligence enigmas. No, wits enigmas. I'm sorry.
It's
I'm trying
okay.
to guess something, so.
Hold on. I'm just gonna get my character sheet. Because I don't remember how much enigmas I have off the top of my head. I know how much wits I have.
I know the other day, whenever Darcy did his challenge, I realized I had a lot more stealth than I thought I did.
That happens, though. When you're sitting there with a stealth a million and you're like, well, I didn't know I had that. Wow.
Out of game, does Crow offer anything with enigmas? Because I don't have the stats on me right now.
I don't think so. And
I think it's just alert. I think it's just alertness and subterfuge and one other thing.
Yes.
Nope.
No, there's one gift I really want to get from Starks.
sorry if this is taking a while.
No, you're not. I'm just kidding.
Like, if you wanted me to roll as Aziza to help you out, I could, but I doubt with how low my DP would be, I would be of help. Because my DP is 3 with a Wits Enigma. On a side note, all Aziza's doing is making sure everyone has snacks and drinks and is listening. Because that's what she does.
Okay, good. I had a lot more than I thought I did. I'm spending a willpower.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I just read what Amachan posted. I'm fucking dying. Oh my god.
Okay, I'm checking it now.
I'm so sorry that she has me fucking. Oh my god.
So I either got 4 or 5 successes.
He's probably speaking of Veronica's twin.
Oh.
Veronica does have a twin in town. And Veronica has not really seen her very much since, like, I know we've said that, she does check up on her on time to time, things like that. Like, it's not, dead connection.
Mm-hmm.
But he's trying to warn her that her sister is an unguarded target.
The question is from who now, because there's 2 different targets. She could have Garu or Faye. Am I able to narrow down who the targets are?
No, not from that, but
all right.
But yeah, he is pointing out that her sister is an unguarded target. And her husband, obviously, by default, would be an unguarded target as well.
She nods and says through B speech, "Thank you."
We'll nod at him. I'll look back at Darcy.
I'll look to him.
I'm gonna guards him for a moment. And then he actually just dissolves into a bunch of spiders and leaves. Just like that. He basically just erupts into a shower of spiders, falls like where he is, and they all leave. With one little spider staying behind and crawling onto Cassia's knee. He's done talking.
He said what he needed to say.
Yep, and he doesn't linger. So he's going back to the sept to keep doing his job. So yeah, Cassia will pick the spider up and put it into his clothing again.
Veronica texts her twin.
She'll look at the text. Is it basically just one of those "can we meet up later and talk" type texts?
Yeah, or asking, if you're free, you can come by. We can find somewhere to meet.
Yeah, she'd love to meet up with her.
Okay.
Darcy. Go ahead.
And for now on, she's also probably going to find ways to keep tabs on Cassia. Because that's... Sullivan has a pack. Cassia's alone.
Cassia is very much alone, actually.
Darcy actually kind of looks over at Cassia for a moment, and then something kind of clicks into his mind. And he says, actually, Cassia, you are... I know a little bit about the step.
I would hope so.
He nods. You are Black Cat, meaning that you are a Bubasti. Bubasti, I think. That's how you say it. Out of character, he would say it correctly.
Come on.
You're ones that deal with secrets and somewhat even spiritual, correct?
Yes. We're sorcerers.
He sinks fingers through his hair and then just kind of looks off. I had a vision the other day.
Oh.
He nods. The vision occurred, and I found myself on the Umbra, unsure of exactly where I was, but I couldn't shift from lupus. I was permanently stuck. And there was a silver light in the distance that kept calling my name. He looks up to me.
The sensation of...
Out of character, it was sensation,
It
right?
was the sensation, not the literal. Yeah.
It was a sensation. Like it wanted me to go there. He shivers a little bit.
Veronica looks at Cassia. I'm going to out of game go with a idea. Cassia, he has been looking for ways to study his heritage, the uncorrupted aspects, but him being a foster, and he still has yet to learn some of the ways to protect oneself when studying this. Out of game, Johnny, do you want me to tell you the idea out of game?
Shoot it.
Out of game, I'm shooting two birds with one stone. I want to see if I can get Cassia to give pointers while at the same time this inadvertently makes Cassia watched.
Gotcha.
It'll be a mutualism.
It is a mutualism, actually. You're right.
So Darcy kind of looks over at Veronica and looks over at Cassia.
Says in Beast speech, you know, they're not as familiar with, he'll probably be more susceptible to, understanding Kalash versus Azura.
Cassia will reach out and touch, because he actually does have hedge magic, and he has the psychic gifts. He'll actually reach out and touch Darcy's forehead and pull the vision from his mind so he can see it himself.
So Darcy's seeing it again because
he is seeing it again because Cassia's pulling it out to see it himself. So yes.
So it's kind of like he's there with Cassia right now.
Yes. So he'll look at the vision and he'll kind of clarify it and solidify it a little bit. And he says, "What are you seeking right now? Are you seeking a person or an object, a thing?" Do you have a quest right now?
He takes a soft breath and he looks over at him and he says, I was looking for an ancient clave.
An item of silver. Notice it's a silver beacon.
He takes a breath, looks over at Azaza.
He'll look at the vision, his eyes kind of sweeping up in the real world. And he'll actually pull his backpack off. And he pulls out a sketch pad and some coloring pencils. These are professional artist quality, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Not like Crayola. And he'll open up his sketch pad and he'll start to draw the vision. Like a capture of it.
Darcy blinks and he just kind of looks down at it.
And he'll basically pass it over to Darcy when he finishes.
He looks at it and he's pretty astounded.
Most people don't realize Cassia is professionally an artist, so.
Veronica smiles at Cassia's work.
Yeah, it's pretty beautiful. And the sky is like a very dark. The sky itself, all around, is black, like almost like a deep purple black. And as it nears the horizon, it turns to a very deep red. They notice that the strangeness of it is that it almost seems to stretch across the horizon as though that is the whole of the skyscape, which would be very unnatural.
Can I roll worm lore?
1 second. Yeah, but
sorry.
I mean, yeah, you can roll more, but 1 second. There are stars in the sky, but they don't look to be any constellations that you're familiar with. And there is a full moon. And you notice that the pulse is coming from what appears to be a city.
I don't think he'll be able to do anything with it, but I'll ask if he can do it.
It's Umbra lore that people need.
Yeah, he has 1 dot of Umbra lore. Can I roll 1 dot of Umbra lore?
Sure enough.
I got 1 dot of Umbra lore and I have worm lore.
Yeah, the worm lore is not going to do anything, to be honest. You can roll it, but it's not going to do anything. This isn't a wormish one.
Yeah,
okay.
I have the same thing.
Aziza cannot help. She has no lore.
Wits or intelligence?
Wits.
Same dice for me.
I'm rolling as well.
And I'm going to spend a point of willpower.
1 point of one success.
I have 2 successes because I burnt willpower too.
Okay. Veronica would know that it is a territory of the Near Umbra. Darcy is putting together that with the fact that he couldn't shift out of lupus, with the fact that it's an eternal twilight with Luna always hanging over him.
Out of game, fuck you.
I know. He is not sure, okay? But he thinks he remembers hearing tales of a place called Wolf Home.
And Sullivan brought that up too.
Yes.
So.
And Sullivan is known to be very familiar with the Umbra.
Darcy kind of touches it and he says, I think this is Wolf Home.
Suggestion, Darcy?
Looks over at her.
This might sound really obnoxious. If you choose to venture there, see if you can bring one of the Red Talons with you.
That is actually a very wise piece of information.
I've actually been talking with Lupus recently, which is strange. Saying I wanted to learn more about my lupus side. He laughs. And then he furrows his brow and then touches the drawing.
But they'll be familiar how to survive in those environments.
He nods. And but just the fact that he's been talking about that it just is hitting him. Like, really, there isn't there. It's more than a coincidence.
It seems as though your life is influenced.
He looks over at Cassia.
Veronica looks at Cassia. You never cease to amaze me.
Oh, he looks. You know when somebody has a crush and
Mhm.
their crush compliments them and their face just lights up? That happened. And he'll lean over and kind of nuzzle his face to her neck.
She scratches behind the ears.
Oh, he melts. Oh my god, dude melts. Oh,
You-
bro melts.
You know what Darcy says just to feed to Veronica's ego?
Hmm.
Well, of course I'm special. I'm related to Veronica. And he smiles sweetly.
That is true.
Purr.
And Justin is only a Cienfuegos. He is not Golden Claw's lineage. She's gonna drive that real deep.
Like,
I almost said something so wrong. Holy shit. But yeah, Cassio will chirp and kind of look up at her. And he'll just kind of wrap his arms around her and take a sip of her coffee.
Yep.
Darcy actually looks over at Veronica and furrows his brow. And he says, there's also one other factor when it comes to this.
She watches.
Zhongli may be my packmate right now. But he has mentioned on a few occasions that he's leaving the pack. And the person that Justin told and was affected by the most was in fact Zhongli. If he's not my pack, I can't exactly keep him quiet. He looks into her eyes.
So you want someone to keep Justin in line.
It's not exactly Justin. I don't know if Zhongli will use that against you.
Out of game, Veronica has a serious amount of appreciation that you're mentioning this.
He said he would be honest.
Yep.
Cassia, by the way, while they're talking, pulls out what appears to be like it's like a book,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like the pages have been like it's pages that have been like bound together, and they can be removed or taken out and things like that. And he opens it up and starts kind of making marks in it.
Oh boy.
Is it a hit list?
He'll look up and they notice that there's like pictures and like layout and things like that, and he'll blink. What?
See, doesn't surprise her that he has all those notes and stuff.
He'll look down and say, this is the November issue of GQ.
Oh my god.
He just shakes his head. He'll open it and like show them. it's the mock-up for the November issue of GQ he's working on. And he'll just shake his head. I keep all of my secret notes in my head. He'll tap his head.
So
And then he'll paw at Veronica for a
wanna
second.
know.
He's like, look, I did an article on your mentor. And he'll point at it.
Oh. Looks over.
It's an article on male ballerinas and like the strength in the art and stuff like that, and about like gender norms and things like that.
She says through mind link, so it's about Emil kicking the cocaine out of Alexei.
He just snorts. think that man has been replaced by cocaine. If he were to die and we snorted him, well, he'd all be. And he'll look over at Aziza.
She'll just stare right back at him, not saying anything.
God, she really does look like him.
She looks over at Darcy. See, Alpha, I told you.
He's probably talking about Alexei. God.
So, Darcy, what was the reason for Zhongli leaving? Did he say?
He takes a soft breath. He taught me what it meant to be a leader. I doubted myself, constantly was trying to make myself better, constantly was working myself to the bone to be stronger for everyone else. And he helped me by pushing me and pushing me and pushing me until I broke. And I realized I was strong. I was strong already, and I was just making myself weak by not noticing my own strength.
So what you're saying is that Zhongli is Mary Poppins.
Exactly. He grins.
Thought so.
Sounds about right.
But he wants to leave our pack because he does not see himself as an honorable person. And our pack is bringing a tribe into a place that brings hope, and he doesn't feel like it suits him.
Out of game, he could join the Night Riders.
Oh Lord, do you really want Petra and him in the same pack? I'm just pointing that out.
Do
You really want Petra and him in the same pack?
Do you know how like horrible that would be to have Zhongli and Veronica?
Aziza does notice that Cassia every once in a while looks up at her and like kind of looks at her.
Is something the matter, Mr. Cassia?
No. I'm just noticing the similarities between you and your father. Your father was married to my granddaughter for a very long time, so I'm familiar with him. He's the father of my grandchild.
He's been married to quite a few people from what I've heard, and she then takes a long sip of her tea.
Darcy covers his mouth to like keep his gaping jaw.
That's what happens when you throw your love into the wrong person. Make bad investments, you get bad returns. Now me, I made a very, very wise investment. I'll smile.
Darcy smiles very softly. I did too. And he just kind of looks like towards the back where Benny's probably at.
Go to him. All Aziza says.
God, he's okay
Oh.
right now.
You go get a kiss.
We don't have to be in each other's arms every 5 seconds, Azaza.
I heard you kissed my brother husband. Oh, not.
He covers his face and he's like, I didn't want to. And
he gets like a sassy little look on his face, like sure you didn't.
Darcy is bright red and he's just like curling up. And he says,
Tell me more about this, because this amuses me.
Veronica, like, do you know about this?
Veronica looks over at Cassia.
Veronica, he
Yes.
kissed Sully the other day.
he's just whimpering so much.
She just gives a serious look like this is probably one of the few times like she's not amused.
Apparently, Miss Aziza kissed his husband, and his husband thought that the only way that there could be equality between them is if he kissed someone. He walked out and said that he would kiss the first person he pointed at, and guess who he pointed at?
Aziza is shaking her hands are as she sits her cup down. All I asked for was an example of what kissing is, and that was the result. I thought they would kiss each other.
Gives a very solo side glare.
That was the intent. I was trying to. And then he just.
The intent and what you did are two different things.
It's okay. It all worked out in the end, Darcy. It helped me get the courage to do what I wanted to do and not what I thought I should do.
Whimpers. He's like, okay.
Veronica just intensely stares at him.
He looks over at Veronica like, I brain bleached that scenario. I hid for hours from embarrassment.
She continues to stare at the depth of his soul.
She reaches over and takes Darcy's hand. Darcy, that event and the courage it gave me, as well as the embarrassment and wanting to hide myself in a brown sack for the rest of my life, also helped my family accept someone they would never normally accept.
You two are going to have to hide in 2 sacks in a moment.
I got Polly to shake hands with a child of Gaia.
That's amusing. I made a family completely disappear.
He looks over at Veronica and then
all
he
because
says,
they made sure that Sully used a cane. They are no longer around. Is there a point you want to make?
Darcy looks over at Veronica and he's like, the whole scenario was I walked up to him, sure, I told him the scenario and was willing to walk away if he refused. I wasn't expecting him to jump up and do it.
When you say he did it, describe this doing.
He turns so bright red, like he can't even.
I need details, please. For posterity, of course. This is my brother husband we're talking about? He'll nod.
I need more tea. She gets up to go.
Stop coffee! Oh my god!
Give me alcohol.
So this is so now that you're alone, Darcy, explain this scene. She just wedges closer.
He looks at her and whimpers. He grabbed me. Pulled me closer. Dips me backwards.
Oh, he did the dip? Oh my.
He did the dip.
Was there tongue?
He put his tongue in my mouth.
Oh my.
He's whimpering and shaking.
And you believe this absolves you how?
I didn't say it did.
Aziza returns with tea and alcohol and a pack of cigarettes.
She takes the alcohol away. You think this absolves you how?
I said I didn't think it did.
Damn right it did fucking absolve you.
He looks at her and he's like, I'm sorry.
Out of game, my character's not intending to like murder you, but just like making a point across. She's making a point across.
God, Cassia is a fucking bitch.
Well, Cassia knows she would do that.
Bitch.
He knew she would do that. That's why he did it.
She kind of looked at Darcy. So how did Mr. Cassia know this happened?
He wasn't there. I don't know how he knew.
I'm a cat.
How dare you believe you could ask him this?
His hand goes to his chest.
He's like, his eyes turn wide and he looks over at Azazel like, oh god, Azazel, quiet.
Azazel gets a side glare. How dare you believe you could ask him this?
Cackling to Darcy, should we just run?
He's like, I'm debating on it.
There is a way I may let you off the hook. Which is a
Looks
warning.
at her.
She narrows her eyes. So, I will respect you if you find details about Anton's Karen for me.
He nods. And he kind of looks over at her, and his facial expression changes.
You don't say a word about any of this conversation here.
What conversation?
Exactly. Slowly turns to Isaiah.
Who would I speak of on this matter?
Darcy taps his lip and he says, Great Fog is watching over us always.
And also Grandfather Thunder, and you know who associates with him.
He looks over at her and he smiles and he says, Both of us.
Exactly.
And then he looks over at Azaza and he's like, and he says in the pack link, yeah, I may have had a situation where Grandfather Thunder kind of accepted me as his own. That's a long story. I'm not going to explain it.
Pack link back to him. Can we go meet the others now? As much as I love this woman, she scares me a little bit.
Hands Darcy back his alcohol. You guys didn't ask if I wanted coffee.
I didn't actually know this place served coffee.
It's a cafe. He gets up and he says, Would you like a silver dragon?
Yes, I would.
And he goes and gets it for
throws
her.
the cigarettes at Darcy, by the way.
All in all, actually, Darcy and Veronica get along pretty well. He was just... oh.
They do get along out of game really well.
So the door will open, and someone is going to poke their head in and look around and then see Veronica, and she lights up and she'll kind of hop over to her.
Oh, you did finally show up.
I'm sorry. I was going to come earlier, but I got distracted.
That's okay.
She smiles. Hi.
We were having a wonderful conversation, smirks evilly at the other two, weren't we?
Are you?
Yes, it was the most interesting conversation I've had all day.
Azaza's now alone with two people that look exactly like Veronica and then her husband.
One just looks genuinely happy, and the other one just looks scary.
Yeah, she actually could
Azaza
not
put her
be any
laptop.
more like different than Veronica. Then oh my god.
For speak, Azaza's laptop has gone back in the bag.
But Azaza's like, Anna waiting for you, Darcy. I'm stuck alone with you people.
No. So, who's this lovely person?
Hi, I'm Ella.
Nice to meet you, Ella.
Veronica and I are related. She doesn't want to like.
Yes.
She knows Veronica's all into secrets and shit, and doesn't want to give away her shit.
I thought Veronica was your mother.
Give side glare.
You did not. You did
Oh,
not.
really?
Guys-
We're twins.
In relation, you could have been mother and daughter or sisters.
We're twins.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wow.
She sinks down.
No, Kimberly, the family Azaza was raised by, her mother looks the same age as her. Her mother
Yeah.
doesn't look a day
Still
over, like,
though, it's the thought of you implying that Veronica's older than her.
Actually, the funny part is Ella's the older. by like 2 minutes.
So Darcy comes back with, he was actually getting himself a silver dragon too because he's never tried it, and he sees Veronica and his sister, and he or her sister, and he looks back between them. He's like, he's just looking back and forth, and instead of keeping the drink for himself, he offers it to both of them.
I'm sorry, I'm not good with women's ages. All women look young to me, so.
It's okay.
Most people haven't met most of my family.
Pack link to Darcy. I'm not good with women. Stop leaving me alone with them.
He's saying in the pack link, but you are a woman. How are you not good with women? I don't understand this.
Pack link. My version of woman apparently is different than the modern woman, and you know this.
Veronica.
I guess you're better with
Yes.
men. Well, I'm better with women. I don't understand. We're just.
She throws her hands up as a response to the pack chat.
She looks at her sister. Yes.
Would you like to have dinner tonight with my husband and I?
I'd be okay with that.
Okay.
Would you like both my husbands to come by?
She'll look at Cass and look at her. You have more than one?
Yes.
Oh God, where do I sign up for that?
Aziza is looking at them very confused. It looks like Darcy very confused.
Look at Isaiah. What's there to be confused? I'm powerful and I get what I want.
Darcy is like, says in the pack link, and he says, "Stop giving Veronica weird looks. She will kill us."
Pack link, it's not a weird look. It's very confusing. Explain it later. I thought only men got multiple spouses.
Out of game. It is because they are not Cienfuegos. Cienfuegos line, it has gone back several generations, taking what they want from others.
You know what Darcy says to Aziza and pack link? Well, she has a bigger dick than most guys, so whatever.
Aziza started choking on her table.
If she does, it's because she castrates it from the men.
Oh my lord. So yes. She'll squeeze softly and she'll give Veronica a hug.
She allows the hug and hugs with one arm back.
Yeah, Cassie had like his brows go up because she even let that happen. You're like, wait, what?
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
Darcy actually goes over and like he offers his hand and he says, "I'm Darcy Savadra. I'm related to Veronica through marriage."
Whatever, we're cousins. Hi. She'll jump on him.
Oh, okay. And he like hugs her.
She like legs around the waist, like arms around his neck, like full hold. Hi. Now you have a fucking backpack. It's called Ella. Hi.
Okay.
Out of game, everything's going according to plan.
She like gloms onto him, crawls onto his back. The only thing is that she's a little bit smaller than Veronica, like just a little bit. But she kind of crawls onto his back, and like now you have an Ella backpack. There you go.
Darcy's easily carrying her on his back. He has strength for God.
Yeah, she's like, hi, how are you? Tell me everything about yourself. What's your favorite color?
He looks at her, and I gotta remember what his favorite color is out of character. Oh yeah, I remember. And he's like, "It's violet." And he looks over at her hair.
She brushes his face with her hair. What's your favorite food?
He's like, "I'm really on the spot now, aren't I?"
She like softly like kind of smacks his face like with her palm, like hurry, answer.
Okay, it's pot stickers, Chinese.
Okay, awesome. What's your favorite country?
Darcy, should I leave you alone now?
I don't leave me alone. Help me. He says in the back.
She'll quickly look at her phone and go, actually, me and Darcy are late for our job. So Darcy, answer this last question so we can go.
Okay, and he looks at her. And what was the last question?
What's his favorite country?
My favorite country?
What's your favorite country?
He's like lost in thought right now. Like, girl, who asks that? Uh, um, I don't know.
How can you not know your favorite country?
Well, what's your favorite country?
Iceland.
Oh, okay.
Watch. Ask me these questions. Go. Do it.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Okay. What's your favorite food?
Steak.
What? What did you say?
Steak.
Steak is your favorite
It sounded
color?
like you said
Yes.
fake.
Steak. No. Yeah. Fake. No. Steak. Cooked medium rare. Preferably Damanco, but whatever. Keep going.
Okay. He thinks for a second. Favorite store.
My favorite store is H&M.
Favorite movie.
What dreams may come.
Oh, that's a good one. I like
Get
that one.
on the ball. She just like
What's your favorite season?
fall.
What's your favorite number?
17.
What's your favorite body part?
My
Oh,
favorite
I almost asked something
part?
and then realized that was Alexi, not Aziza.
Yeah, she was like, my favorite body part. She'll kind of run her hands up his chest and say, oh, eyes. Benny is like peeking out, like, Jesus Christ.
Darcy rubs
Tackling
his
to
mouth.
Darcy. Are you sure you're not ready yet?
I'm ready. Okay. My favorite country, Japan. Okay, I'm good.
You're lying. That's not your favorite country. You're just saying that.
You should put these two to work as interrogators. They could play good cop, bad cop really well, Darcy.
I'm just saying it's not good not to know yourself. And she'll climb down and go back over to Veronica.
And then he looks at her, and then he says, "If it's not my favorite country, then why can I do this?" And then he starts naming animes in Japanese.
Because you like anime. That doesn't mean it's your favorite country.
And he just starts talking in Japanese. What do you mean? Like
Oh,
this?
so you
this
know Japanese. She'll yell back at him in Japanese.
Alright,
and so they start
stands up,
arguing in
grabs-
Japanese.
Grabs the back of the collar of Darcy's shirt and starts dragging him off.
And he's just arguing while he's slowly backing up. Japanese.
Just sit down next to
No.
Veronica.
Nope, not letting you embarrass yourself as my alpha anymore. Let's go.
She'll pat her eyelashes at Veronica.
Yes.
Hi,
Hello.
I love you.
I love you too.
He's so weak.
He'll learn in due time. He's still getting his bearings.
I know. She'll just nuzzle Veronica. Cassia's dying. Oh my god.
At this point, Veronica's used to being nuzzled by several people, so it doesn't phase her.
I would hope the person that she literally spawned from and spawned from her as well, she doesn't mind being on her.
You gotta look at it this way. She's nuzzled by her two husbands. She's nuzzled by the two puppies. She gets glommed by some lupuses. And it's ever so often a red talon will invite her to a cuddle pile.
Right? Oh, and two tigers. You're forgetting the two tigers.
Oh yeah, the tigers will be in a tiger pile with her.
And her crazy ass fucking twin.
Yep. So
I like that one, but he needs to learn how to deal with a woman interrogating him. He'll not. She'll not.
would you like to teach him that?
Yes! She bounces.
Oh
He sure
god.
She,
However, if you do that,
yes.
my kind, there are certain rules, so
Rules? Rules are made to be broken. Mm.
oh, I totally agree with you, but just keep in mind there's some people at my SEP that are very powerful. So don't get the wrong people mad. Because out of game, she had a sister destroyed because they.
Right?
When you come by the sept, let me or Sullivan know.
Okay. But I don't even know where it is, but okay.
We'll talk about it at dinner.
I have to get ready for dinner. I can't wait to see you. And she like bounces and kisses her cheek and runs out. And Cassia just looks over at her like, how are you doing?
I assume that I assimilated all the wicked and cruel things in this world to properly deal with them. Well, she's the ray of sunshine. As I rain down the lightning and thunder.
See that. I like her a lot. She's not too much, but I like her. But wow, she is bouncy. Whatever could her husband be like?
He's a bear.
What?
I'm dead serious.
What?
A fake teddy bear.
What?
She told me.
Is she mad?
Well, why don't you tell me? I'm quite sure she fits into the, what's the saying in Alice in Wonderland? We're all mad in some way.
We're all a little mad here. But it's like her crazy is the mirror opposite of yours.
Well, I think that's why she would pick a bear.
Oh, he purrs. Just flops on her. We should probably go get ready for dinner ourselves.
That is a good idea.
Let's go. And he will tug her out. Mm-hmm. And I believe with that, we can end our scene.
Yep.
Yay! Thank you guys for playing. Thank you much for watching. Bye!
Bye-bye.